Greetings everyone. Today, I am making this recording for all of us to listen to help us understand our true nature. Let us understand our life essence, which we may call consciousness, life force, or Dharma element. Our life essence has no form. It is pure emptiness and clarity that merges with all things. Let us try to remove everything in the universe. The sun, black holes, remove them all. Remove all the galaxies and stars, remove darkness and light, remove the air itself. What remains is pure emptiness and clarity. Now, try to remove this pure emptiness, yet pure emptiness remains. We can remove all physical elements, eliminate all forms of energy. We can remove anything and everything, but there is one thing that cannot be removed, the Dharma element or the primordial essence. Call it the original element, the source element. It is pure emptiness and clarity. This element is absolute clarity, and our consciousness is this very element. Our consciousness, which can be called the life element, is pure empty clarity without form. This is our element, this pure essence. We need not search for it, as it is always present with us. Consider this analogy. Right now, we understand this body as our body, yes? Let us try to remove consciousness, which is the life element, from this body. The body would collapse, the heart would not beat, the brain could not think, the ears could not hear sounds, the eyes could not see, and this body would gradually decay. Let us observe, where is our body? When this body decays and only bones remain, and then these bones decay and dissolve away completely, where is our body then? Even when this body just begins to decay, becoming swollen and bloated, we would say, "This is not my body anymore. I don't want this body." This body can only function because it houses the life element, what we call consciousness. Can we understand this? Here is another analogy. This body is like a robot, a natural robot. What makes this robot work? It works because it has energy sustaining it, understand? This robot can only function when it has a battery or energy source residing within it. When we remove the energy source or battery, this robot becomes just scrap metal, then rusts and falls apart. Do you understand? We are the pure, empty, clear life element. This body, this physical form, is just a robot that we temporarily inhabit. For what purpose? Do you know how many bodies we have changed through? When this body reaches the end of its lifespan, whether it dies at 1 year old, 2 years old, 5 years old, or 100 years old, it stops functioning. Our consciousness or life element leaves this body and goes to inhabit a new one. Whether as land animals, sea creatures, or whatever form, inhabiting the bodies of underground creatures like earthworms and millipedes, dwelling in land animals like pigs, chickens, tigers, cats, and monkeys, residing in winged creatures like the various birds that fly, or even as microorganisms. Do you realize how many times we have changed these bodily vessels? Let us look back. Our life element or consciousness began dwelling in physical matter, inhabiting the bodies of sea creatures, land animals, beings of the air, space, and human forms. How many different forms have we inhabited? As we trace back further and further, before everything existed, before the universe, before the stars, before Earth, before the sun, before black holes, before all things, there was already pure, empty, clear essence. That is our consciousness. We are all consciousness that is pristine, empty clarity. Dwelling within this pure, empty clarity, we all exist as one. Let me use an analogy to make this clearer. If I say the ocean is the original element, and we are this vast, immense ocean, take one drop of water from this ocean. This is our life element. Place this drop into a vessel, and immediately this vessel comes to life through this single drop. This is like the life element dwelling in this body. This is the analogy. Then one drop, one drop, one drop, inhabiting vessels everywhere, becoming all of us, humans and animals filling everything. One day, if we can return this single drop of water to the ocean, we will see that we are the ocean. Try to imagine placing one drop of water into the ocean. Where is our single drop now? We cannot find our individual self at all. We are the substance of water in the ocean that is all one essence. We are the same nature as the water in the ocean. Can you understand this? Whoever understands this will find it simple. We are the life element that is pristine, empty clarity, analogous to a tiny sphere that is one with the pristine, empty clarity that exists throughout infinite universes. Try to grasp this pristine emptiness before us. You cannot hold it. This pristine emptiness contains air, and when air moves, it becomes wind. But no matter how the air moves, or how strong the wind becomes, it cannot affect this pristine emptiness. Even if we were to throw an atomic bomb into this pristine emptiness before us, nothing would happen. The pristine, empty element remains unaffected, unconnected to anything. Understand this. It's this simple. We are this element, a formless life element that knows all things, an element that merges as one with all things. Grasp this fundamental point first. We are this element. Let's call it the primal element. It is a natural element we call the primal element, the source element of all elements. This source element is our life element itself. This source element is extremely clear, as pure as a small child. This element is unconnected to anything. The essence of our being seeks to learn. It simply desires to understand what all things truly are and to know its own nature. To learn, it requires tools. Just as when we wish to explore the depths of the ocean, we need specific equipment, submarines that can withstand immense pressure, diving suits, oxygen tanks, decompression devices, food supplies, and everything necessary to sustain us below. These tools are essential for studying and learning about the underwater world. In the same way, for the empty, pure, and luminous essence of our being to know itself, it too requires the proper instruments. Yet at this moment, it cannot recognize what it truly is. We do not realize that we are, in essence, pure and untainted. Even now, to put it simply, we mistakenly believe that this physical body is who we are. This material body of elements, we have already accepted it as ourselves. When this body reaches the end of its lifespan, regardless of the cause, whether by accident or natural means, it doesn't matter. This body was born to eventually disintegrate. For example, imagine that this evening, while taking a walk, a large branch suddenly falls and strikes us. With a single blow, our life in this body ends. The mind, or the essence of life within us, will detach from the body. The body ceases to function, is cremated, and the mind moves on to seek a new body. It will continue seeking new forms, a new suit, to inhabit and use as a tool for learning and understanding itself. It is similar to preparing to explore the depths of the ocean. To do so, we need equipment and tools to navigate and study the underwater world. In the same way, the essence of life within us, which is empty, pure, and luminous, desires to know itself. However, it cannot learn or recognize itself on its own. Thus, it creates tools, manifestations of phenomena. This pure essence forms a mechanism, a structure to process and respond to external stimuli. This mechanism acts as a receiver, detecting what comes into contact with it. Once contact occurs, it generates ripples and effects, leading to interpretations and formations of understanding about those external interactions. Without this mechanism, the essence of life could neither perceive nor make sense of anything. It needs these tools to navigate, interact, and understand the world and itself. Can you picture it? This clear and empty space merges seamlessly with everything. Darkness flows into this clarity, and the clear emptiness absorbs it effortlessly, learning from it and understanding its nature. It blends with the darkness, yet they remain unrelated. This clarity, this emptiness, serves as a foundation, a base, for all things to reside within. It is like the infinite universe where clear and empty space forms the womb of existence. Within this vast clarity, countless stars reside, along with suns, black holes, solar systems, galaxies, and entire universes. Life exists on these stars and planets, all dwelling within this clear and empty space. Yet, this space is neither the darkness nor the light, and it is unaffected by what resides within it. It is simply a foundation, a base, a natural element that supports all things. It is the formless container that embraces all, without being entangled or defined by anything it holds. This emptiness is pure, luminous, and infinite, allowing everything to exist within it, while remaining untouched and unbound. While it holds all things within itself, and all things arise and exist within it, ultimately, everything, stars, galaxies, and whatever else, comes into being only to eventually disintegrate. They collide and break apart. They are born, reach the end of their lifespan, and dissolve. Even the sun exists to eventually fade away. Black holes, too, are destined to collapse. All stars and celestial bodies arise only to decay, each according to their own causes and conditions. Yet there is one natural truth that neither arises nor disintegrates: the pure, clear emptiness, the primordial essence. This is the source, the origin of all things. We are this essence, this pure, luminous and boundless life force. Picture this clearly. We are not this physical body. This body, which moves and functions, is animated because the essence of life, or consciousness, resides within it. Grasp this principle firmly. The body is not who we are. It is but a vessel. Understanding this truth is the kind of knowledge we need to hear more of. We must share this understanding widely through YouTube, Facebook, and other channels, so that this wisdom may reach everyone on this planet. It is knowledge that liberates us from suffering, from the chaos of this worldly existence. By realizing this, we will come to know the purest, most luminous essence of the natural truth, the foundation of all beings. To reach this pure life essence, in truth we don't actually reach it, for we are this essence. Right now we've simply become lost in appearances, mistaking this physical body for our true nature. Thus, we must explain this to help everyone understand. We'll point out that our pure essence is like a newborn child, innocent and unknowing. If born into wealth, it learns the ways of the wealthy, knowing nothing of poverty. If born among thieves, it learns the ways of thieves, knowing nothing of virtue. If born into the life of poor farmers, it learns the ways of farming and living day to day, knowing nothing of wealth. This pure essence of ours, this life force, or our consciousness, might be born where parents give birth and abandon their child in the forest, where tigers, foxes, and monkeys might raise it. Living in the forest, it understands itself as a wild creature knowing nothing of human cities or civilization. It knows only that it is a forest being. Do you see this? Can you perceive this truth? This pure life essence of ours, how pure is it? It knows nothing inherently. It's ready to merge with all phenomena, capable of becoming anything. It can be everything. It might experience tremendous suffering, yet know this: the life essence itself never suffers. It might dwell in a wealthy family, feeling that life is perpetual happiness, yet know this: the life essence never knows what happiness or wealth truly is. The essence of life has never truly known what happiness or wealth is. If it dwells in poverty, living from one meal to the next, this essence still does not know what poverty or the struggle for sustenance truly means. It's as if we are all dreaming. This pure, empty, clear life essence, it is already pure. When this life essence dreams, metaphorically speaking, it creates images of itself as a person, an animal, or whatever form, having a family and a life. Everyone teaches each other to think, to remember, to make a living. At school, they teach us to think, to remember, to earn our keep, and then live life, have families, reproduce, and often suffer greatly. So we practice various methods, hoping to transcend suffering. Isn't this the natural way? Living long lives with moments of happiness and sorrow, experiencing countless events, acquiring vast knowledge through study and learning. But know this, all of this is a dream. One day when we suddenly awakened and open our eyes to see, was all this a dream? At that moment, the pure, empty, clear life essence similarly awakens to realize its true nature as pure, empty consciousness. Ah, it was all a dream. Knowledge arises, enlightenment dawns. There is nothing that is truly me or mine. This body that we thought was ours turns out not to belong to us at all. This voice speaking now, we believe it's our voice. Let's try to grasp this sound with our hands. Can we catch it? Can we touch this speaking voice? If we cannot touch it, where does it exist? We think it appears in the mouth, yes? Let's speak internally, while we speak in our mind. Think in our mind has no mouth, yet sound resonates within. Observe this voice, speaking within the mind. Look into the voice speaking in your mind. Do you see how it cannot be grasped? It is merely something appearing in the pure, empty clarity within our mind. It's like ripples appearing in clear emptiness, dissolving when fabrication ceases. When we stop speaking, stop thinking, it vanishes. When thinking resumes, it appears again. When thinking stops, it disappears. Can you see that the voice speaking all this time while I'm talking? Would you say it has substance? Can it be touched? It cannot be touched, correct? This voice is a manifestation of our life essence, a manifestation of mind. The mind has created this manifestation to use in fabricating and learning. For the mind or pure essence to know itself, it must create tools. Do you understand this now? It's becoming clearer. Let us grasp this deeply. This Dharma can be understood by anyone, whether child or adult. From now on, we'll create this universal Dharma of liberation from suffering for all religions, all races, all regions, from children to the elderly, the disabled, women and men. Everyone can listen. And we will access our pure elemental essence. We will realize our crystalline pure life essence. Just understanding is enough. We are this pure life essence. We already have this, but the point is, our pure essence has created manifestations. It has created tools as phenomena, created rippling manifestations. It ripples into this voice, and this voice cannot be grasped. It's merely a rippling manifestation, rippling from our empty, clear essence. We call this the manifestation of the primal element. We are this primal element. The original element is absolutely pure. We are this element. And this element creates manifestations as tools, because without tools, it cannot fabricate, learn, and understand itself. Because our essence has nothing, only purity. When our pure life essence creates tools as manifestations, creates this voice, observe the voice that speaks constantly in our minds, speaking all the time. See that it is not us. It is merely a manifestation. It creates this voice as a tool. We are the pure essence. We created this voice to use for communication, like how I'm speaking now. This is a tool, not us. It is merely a tool. Understand this point. It's like we're inhabiting this body. The body is merely a temporary tool we're using. We're fortunate to inhabit this body. If we inhabited a fish's body, oh my, we'd be eaten. Living in an octopus, we'd be eaten. Living as a duck or chicken, we'd be eaten. Do you understand? We've come to dwell in this vessel of a human body. How fortunate. Now, the lifespan of this physical form is not long, so we must hurry to understand our true nature, because our real self is the extremely pure, empty, clear life essence. We must realize our purity. We do this by seeing that these manifestations are not us. When we can see this, this essence will brilliantly illuminate, suddenly burst forth. It's as if when we, as this pure essence, see that this voice is not us, if it's not us, we need not cling to it. And what remains? It releases. There are manifestations we created as tools. We created this voice as a tool. This manifestation is not us. We created mental images as tools. These images are not us. We created emotions as tools. These emotions are not us. Whether it's happiness, contentment, suffering, discontent, anger, irritation, indifference, boredom, weariness, or rapturous joy. Whatever emotion it may be, none of it is us at all. This awareness, this perception of sound right now, this ongoing awareness, when we look and know, ears hear sounds, knowing through ears, knowing through these 5 windows, knowing through eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body. This knowing, the element that performs knowing, this state of knowing, it's not us knowing, it knows by itself. Right here, whoever understands this point, their spiritual quest is complete. Even the memory and recognition we have, remembering all stories, this state of remembering is not us either. Even when we listen and say, I understand, this understanding is also just a state, not us either. Whoever grasps this principle, it clicks. They break free. Tears flow, crying with joy, breaking free to find something indescribable, something so pure and clear. When we break free and encounter this pure element, there is no attachment at all. Everything separates, like how the act of speaking is not us. The images we imagine are not us. All the various emotions are not us. This knowing itself is not us knowing. Nothing is us. Understanding arises, reaching deep into the heart. Listen to my recordings often. Understanding deepens until you feel my voice always resonating in your mind, constantly reminding you, these emotions are not you. Don't cling to them. Don't get involved with them. Let sadness be. Let happiness be. Let knowing be. It knows by itself, smells by itself, tastes by itself, hears by itself, emotes by itself, thinks by itself, speaks by itself. See this clearly. Let my voice remind you like this always, echoing in your heart continuously until you begin to feel awakened, aware throughout. Feel this inner knowing constantly, this constant awakening and awareness. Play these recordings of my voice. Play them continuously from waking until sleep. Listen on. Listen always, whatever you're doing, sweeping the house, mopping. Just play it. Let it play freely. Just keep listening. Whether you follow any religion, any nationality, whether young or old, disabled, listen continuously. It is a single knowledge, a single truth, that no one has yet pointed out or revealed to us in this world. It is a profoundly challenging wisdom. Who will achieve this victory? Let me say this. Among us, who will be the first to see this empty, pure life element? Whoever sees it first will shed tears, feeling completely unburdened, as if breaking free from this world. When we break free, we discover that we are this pure element itself. But there are no words to describe this. The moment we break free, there is only pure clarity. We are this crystal clear, utterly pure element. We are this element. How can this be explained to humans? The heart fully realizes that it will never be born again, knows fully that it is liberated from all suffering. It is such absolute purity that when we experience it, we cry. We discover the greatest thing that we have been seeking for so long. Many have asked themselves since childhood, why were we born? What do we really want? We have a house, we have family, we have everything, yet we still feel we're seeking something. What exactly are we searching for? Have we felt this way? There's always this inner voice questioning, saying, this isn't what we're looking for. This voice telling us, this isn't what we want. We just know we're seeking something. This is what the mind truly seeks. The empty, clear life element is an extremely pure, pristine element. This element simply doesn't know that it is a pure element, and it doesn't know all things. It needs to create tools in the form of manifestations, like electrons, protons, neutrons rotating around a nucleus. These are tools. The things rotating around it are instruments, allowing it to connect with various things, using these electrons, protons, neutrons to learn everything. This is an analogy. Can you visualize it? Our life element is the same. It is the primal element, the origin element, the foundational element. It creates manifestations as tools, and these manifestations then give rise to material elements across infinite universes, manifested from the energies emanating from this primary element. We must understand this. These manifestations are like a form of energy that ripples and vibrates. I'll call this phenomenon manifestations. Our empty, clear, pure life element creates these manifestations that express themselves as sound. Let's observe the sound that speaks from within our mind. Try speaking internally, or you don't even need to speak. Just observe inside. You'll see voices constantly talking about this and that. Notice that this sound is merely a manifestation, functioning on its own, like a servant, like an operator, an energy that only performs the function of speaking. This sound, this energy, this manifestation, only performs the function of speaking. Another manifestation or energy performs the function of thinking in images, creating visual forms. Let's observe. There will be images appearing in the mind. Try thinking of anything: the ocean, a restaurant, your partner, your parents. Try visualizing. Think of any animal you like, a shark, a dolphin. Try to visualize. Images will appear in your mind, don't you see? This is a form of energy, a manifestation. I'll call it manifestation. This manifestation of energy can create images. These things are not us. This part is merely a tool. The pure life element simply uses it and creates manifestations of energy that can form emotions too. This one functions solely to create emotions. Every time we use it, using sound, using mental images, every time we think, we imagine. We think we want to eat papaya salad, and an image comes with it. A big plate of papaya salad, hot sticky rice, hot grilled chicken, satisfaction arises, then the desire to eat arises. Do you see the emotion? Now once we've finished thinking, emotion is already there. Then we get papaya salad to eat right away. The moment we think, emotion arises immediately, just by thinking, imagining, just that, and emotions follow. Let's say these three are operators working simultaneously. They work together, understand? When things aren't as we thought or imagined, dissatisfaction arises. When things are as we thought or imagined, satisfaction arises. These manifestations are not us. Can you understand this point? It's a form of energy. It's a manifestation which performs its function. It's a tool that our empty, clear, pure life element has created. Let's say that we create these manifestations merely as tools. They are not us. Whoever understands this point, tears flow, feeling lighter and lighter, until finally we break free from this mass, break free from all knowledge. It's as if all understanding of ourselves as human beings has completely collapsed. Then we come to realize that we are a highly pure, pristine element. And we realize, oh, we are this element. We have sought everything using physical forms, using manifestations for so long, changing bodies countless times. We have tried to know what we truly are, until now, listening to my teaching, lightness arises. This lightness is our pure element breaking free, releasing, then completely breaking away. Once we break free from all these manifestations, we will know that we are this element. Right now, our element has created these manifestations, and they are clinging together. We are using them, but whenever we keep seeing them, observing, listening to my recordings extensively and observing, this is a single subject that's incredibly engaging. We must achieve victory. We must win this game. We have studied every subject in this world. We have learned everything already. But there is only this one subject, I say it's a subject. This speaking voice, this voice I'm speaking with, isn't really a voice, and it has no owner either. It's just a manifestation. Can you understand this point? And another thing, this manifestation of awareness right now, knowing these sounds, this knowing manifestation isn't us either. This knowing isn't us knowing. It's merely a manifestation, an energy that our pure, clear life element has created merely as a tool. When we come to this understanding, keep tissues ready to wipe our tears. We'll come to know the pure, pristine essence. When we break free, it becomes lighter. Notice how it becomes lighter, clearer, increasingly lighter. It's like we're releasing ourselves from all concepts of self. We used to understand that we were a self. We used to understand that we were human. We used to think we knew everything, understood everything, lived life, had family. We understood things this way, didn't we? And when we listen to these teachings deeply, observing within, just observing, the voice speaks by itself, thinks by itself, has emotions by itself. This awareness exists on its own. It feels heat on its own, tastes deliciousness on its own, perceives flavors on its own, smells on its own, hears on its own, sees on its own, knows on its own. So where is this self? This is the point. Whenever we see this, when understanding suddenly strikes, knowledge arises. Then where is our sense of self? Understanding dawns that there is no self until our mind or this empty, clear life element spontaneously realizes there is no self, or understanding suddenly strikes that nothing remains that could be called a self. There never was a self. Or it concludes whatever it may, and there's a flash of insight or inner illumination in our mind, brilliant clarity. Or we break free from these conditions and encounter something pure, extremely clear and bright. It's utterly spacious. We become the pure, empty, clear element that merges into the infinite universe. Once we directly experience this, it can happen at any moment. While eating, suddenly breaking free, while showering, driving, walking, running, working. We're ready from waking until sleep, ready to break free at any time. When we listen to these recordings continuously, it won't take long, no more than 7 days or 7 months. Listen often, with intention. Make a sincere commitment to yourself. From now on, I will listen to these teachings daily, constantly, extensively. From now on, I will observe internally how the speaking voice, the mental images, the arising emotions, this knowing, how are these not me? I will understand how they are not me. I will realize this truth. I will reach this state of pure clarity that isn't anything. Make this commitment. Tell yourself this, and follow through. Your determination will be complete. For those with wisdom, those who can overcome this game, those who are wise, it takes no more than 7 days. Everyone should listen to these recordings frequently. This isn't about religion, caste, gender, nationality, age, or ability. Everyone can listen, and we will become lighter. The more we listen, the lighter, clearer, and more at ease we become. There will be no suffering. Just listen. Because whenever we understand that this voice is not us, these mental images are not us, these emotions are not us, a knowledge arises. Why do we suffer over these stories, since nothing is actually us? This knowledge will arise, this understanding will flash. If these pleasant and unpleasant emotions occurring now are not us, this is peaceful. This speaking voice is not us. This is peaceful. It speaks by itself, thinks by itself, has emotions by itself. This knowing knows by itself. This is peaceful. This understanding will flash, and there will be great lightness and spaciousness. Then we can smile. Wherever we go, we will smile. We will be happy, as if we've completely transcended suffering. Keep listening, and it will happen naturally, because nothing is really us. These are tools that we created. We are the pure, empty, clear element. an element of profound clarity that merges with everything. We are this element. Grasp this single principle well. Hold on to this principle and listen to these recordings until the voice resonates constantly in your mind, until this voice is always there reminding you. Then you'll find that whatever you do, from waking to sleeping, there will be this voice reminding you, hey, this voice isn't you. Hey, these emotions aren't you. Don't dwell on them. Don't play with them. They're not you. This voice will keep reminding us. Then we'll feel as if we're free from suffering. There's a sense of lightness, openness, freedom from all suffering. Our life will transform. We'll have only lightness and spaciousness, as if we've transcended this world. It gradually releases. This life element of ours, which is pure empty clarity, has created these tools, manifestations of sound, image, emotion, and knowing. This is enough to say. Understanding just this is complete. No need to know more than this. Some say they listen and understand, but even this understanding isn't us. It's not us who understands. It's all just rippling manifestations. When we begin to notice these manifestations, we can notice any time, from waking to sleeping. We just observe them functioning by themselves, thinking, speaking, imagining, emoting, knowing, understanding by themselves, sometimes even doubting themselves. Do you notice? If there's doubt, that too is a manifestation. We created these manifestations as tools. This nature isn't us. It's simply a natural phenomenon performing its functions. It functions by speaking internally, by creating mental images, by forming emotions of satisfaction, dissatisfaction, neutrality, or inner peace. It functions by itself, and this knowing element performs its function of knowing continuously, knowing smells, sights, sounds, tastes, touches. It knows by itself constantly. Even knowing there's thinking in the mind, it knows this by itself. Even knowing there's imagining in the mind, it knows by itself. Even knowing there are emotions present, it knows by itself. Both the knowing and all these manifesting conditions. None of this is us. They perform their functions by themselves. So where is this self? Let your mind answer. Observe and ask, where is the self? Let the mind answer. Don't crave for an answer. Win this game. Overcome this attachment to these conditions. Right now, we're dependent on them, attached to them. We believe we're speaking. We believe we're thinking. Right now, we're clinging. We believe we're experiencing satisfaction, dissatisfaction, neutrality. We're clinging to these. Win this game. Whoever wins this game within 7 days, excellent. Those who take longer, up to a month, also excellent. But if after a month it seems like understanding but isn't quite there, it means we're not yet skilled at this game. We must become more skilled. Some might take 7 months before understanding strikes, breaking free, tears flowing, becoming the pure, empty, clear element. We'll know ourselves when we're free. We'll no longer suffer. It's something immense. Whoever overcomes this, oh, congratulations, will be those who never return to suffering. Keep listening. Share this teaching, this universal dharma of liberation from suffering. Share it with friends, with this world. Let everyone listen. Then this world will know peace, happiness, freedom from suffering. No one will harm others, compete or hurt each other, because everyone will begin observing their own mind. Understand this. Overcome our mind's delusion. Our mind created these tools, depends on these tools, and got stuck with these conditions. That's why we've come to believe in a self, that everything is us. This body is ours. We use this voice to say, that's a tree, even though that thing never called itself a tree. We use this voice to say, this is left arm, left leg, right leg. This voice speaks, but these things don't speak. We use this voice to say, this is our house. These things don't speak, but this voice says, this is our car, but that thing never said what it was. This is earth, this is a tree, this is sky. The voice speaks, but all these natural things don't speak. Whoever understands this point and tears flow, feeling lightness and relief. Oh, excellent. Pass this stage. Whoever can win this game to the point of breaking free from dependence on these things, whoever wins this game first, breaks free first. This is a sage, an excellent one of great wisdom, truly supreme. And we will know ourselves how magnificent it is. We will know in a way that brings tears. We will see why were we so ignorant? How did we get lost in this conventional world? And we will, oh, tears flowing, want to proclaim to this world that we're free from all suffering, free from everything. It's magnificent, and there will be no more suffering. We will know what humans cannot know, see what humans cannot see. We will become those who announce to everyone in this world to come listen to this universal Dharma of liberation. Anyone who listens to all these recordings will find joy in living, will not suffer from anything, will know that liberation from suffering is simple. It's just a matter of listening to this recording and observing these tools. This body, no need to pay attention to it, because this body arose and will soon dissolve. This body won't last long. This body exists because this voice speaks. This voice says, that is birth, that is death. The voice speaks, but those things don't speak. Do you notice? All things are natural phenomena existing as they are. But this voice, our life element or mind, this pure, empty, clear element, for it to know itself, for us to know that we are this pure element, for us to know all things, we must have this tool, this voice, this ability to perceive. That's why our eyes can see everything, ears can hear everything. It must know, but know through these windows. It knows in our mind. The mind can know everything. Try taking our life element, our mind, out of this body. Eyes won't see anything because there's no one to know. This body is like a bag with 5 holes just for use. So when the mind dwells in the body, it perceives through these 5 holes, through eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body. It perceives through our life element, which is the perceiver. We created these manifestations of perceiving, didn't we? This knowing manifestation isn't us. It's a tool we created. We are the life element that's empty and clear, that has no spoken language, doesn't come or go, isn't born or die, isn't dark or bright. We are this empty clarity before us that merges with the infinite universe. We are this element. Everything else is tools. This knowing is a tool. Just observe this right now. As you listen right now, observe. This sound impacts our life element, and our life element uses tools to perceive this sound. Can you see? Right now, our mind or life element is perceiving the sound, isn't it? There's no need to try to hear, no need to try to know. It already knows, already complete at this moment. It already understands this language, automatically recording, processing, and comprehending. Can you see that it's not us, just this? Can you see that what is spoken is not sound? Can you see that what is thought is not an image? Can you see that emotion is not emotion? Can you see that this knowing is not the manifestation of knowing? All of this is merely something performing its own functions. So where is this self? The point is, there was never a we in any manifestation at all. There is only the life element that is empty, clear, utterly pure, merging with all things, spacious, free, already liberated from everything. Congratulations to whoever wins this game. Realize it, experience it. It's easy. This is a game we must tell everyone about, get everyone to play. The one thing we never knew is this pure, empty, clear life element. This is the only thing we never knew. We've been dwelling here always, using these tools always, but we never knew these tools aren't us. We already have this pure element, but we never knew we had it. That's why I say, this empty, pure, clear life element of ours, this mind, simply doesn't know it's a pure element and doesn't know all things. To know, it had to create tools for learning, and has been learning for so long. We've been everything already. Now, fortunately, we've found this universal Dharma of liberation, and I'm here to help you understand this pure, empty, clear life element. When our life element listens to this recording, my voice explaining our life element, we come to understand, oh, so we are this clear, pure thing, and then suddenly break free. As we understand continuously, it becomes lighter. The more we listen, the lighter and clearer. Our life will change. It becomes increasingly light until we break free. When we break free, we'll know ourselves. It's like we've been dreaming for so long, dreaming all sorts of things, taking everything so seriously until we feel we're about to wake up. Then we suddenly jolt awake and rise from bed. When we jolt awake and rise from bed, we know, oh, we're awake now, completely awake. We're no longer dreaming. The stories in the dream, we have nothing to do with them anymore. They're no longer real. We know completely that we're awake. Even if someone says, hey, you're not awake yet, oh, never mind. We'll know ourselves that we're awake. We'll know ourselves that we've completely won this game. We'll know ourselves that we are the pure, empty, clear element, the immortal life element, the eternal element, the primal element, the original element that existed before all things. Tears will flow, the mind bright and radiant, spacious, clear, joyful, with an oh. It's always awake. It's supreme. We will know this ourselves. Now it's time to conclude. May all of us spread the word, share my recordings for everyone in the world to hear, from young children to students. Let our children and grandchildren listen. They will win this game. Let's share it widely with everyone. Whoever wins this game first, oh, come tell those who haven't won yet. We will be utterly amazed. Let's share with each other on this earth how amazing it is. We will have such joy with this game, the one game that truly challenges us. Reach the original element of yourself. Let us conclude here. May we all realize, may we win this game as quickly as possible. Thank you for watching and engaging with these teachings on awakening. If you found them meaningful, we would deeply appreciate your support through subscribing, liking the video, or sharing your thoughtful comments below.